Hello everyone, good afternoon. Good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep and welcome to this session that we have about arithmetic today. Okay, why is it a crucial subject for us when we talk about arithmetic? That's what I'm going to discuss in this session. Though many of you would be having an idea about it, if you are already preparing for CAT, of course, you must have gone through the syllabus. You might have seen the previous year papers analysis as well. How many questions do appear from arithmetic? What kind of questions do appear? These things you might have seen before as well. So in our today's session, my job is to talk about that only, that how important is arithmetic, what is the weightage given to it. Moreover, what are the areas that would be covered under arithmetic? And then we'll be discussing some questions from the previous year CAT papers, the recent year's CAT papers, to get an idea about arithmetic that, okay, these are the kind of questions. This is what we have to learn. What is the right way of solving the questions? How difficult or how easy those questions are? These are all the things that we are going to discuss in these sessions. So before I start ahead, so can you please confirm it once to me? Is everything okay? Am I audible to you? Am I visible to you? Because if no operational issues are there, then it will become easy for me to go ahead with it, right? Otherwise, I'll keep thinking whether I'm audible or not. I don't know about it. Though on my part, I see that everything looks okay. It should be okay, right? It should be okay. Let's start now. Let's start with our session. Before I start, the first thing, of course, I'm not straight away moving on to the questions of arithmetic and that I straight away start talking about it. Let us start with this now. Okay. So yes says okay, and everyone says yes. That's great. So I'll move ahead then. Now, the first thing first, if I talk about the paper pattern, how has it been for CAT 2022? So in CAT 2022, of course, the number of sections have been the same in last many years of CAT. The order also has been the same. First section is verbal ability, reading comprehension. Second one, data interpretation and logical reasoning. The third one is quantitative ability. In this order, these three sections have been there for many years, right? This have been the order of the three sections. How many questions have been there? So last year there were 24 questions in VARC, 20 in data interpretation, and the section that we are discussing is quantitative ability, which had 22 questions, out of which 8 questions were theta questions. The highest percentage of theta questions was there in quantitative ability. I'm assuming that everyone knows what is theta. Theta means type in the answer, right? Theta means where you have to type in the answer. A question will be asked to you, a box would be there alongside that. You just have to type in the answer. That is what we mean by theta questions. So maximum number of theta questions have been there from quantitative ability in CAT 2022. Even years before that, you would check that. Sectional time limit was 40 minutes. The marking scheme is same. For every right answer, you get plus 3. For wrong answer, you get -1. But for theta questions, it is +3 or 0, right? There is no penalty in case of theta questions, but in case of MCQs, you have a penalty there, right? So that was the 2022 paper pattern. If we talk about CAT 2023, how is it going to be? What will be the paper pattern of 2023? So our take on this is that the number of questions in verbal ability and reading comprehension is going to be somewhere in the range of 24 to 26. In data interpretation and logical reasoning, it is going to be somewhere in the range of 20 and 24. And quantitative ability is going to be in the range of 20 to 26, because in the last 3 years, the exam has been of 2 hours. Each section has been of 40 minutes. And in these 3 years, you will see the number of questions in VARC were either 24 or 26. In DILR, they were 20 or 24. In quantitative ability, they were 22 or 26. That has been the number of questions in the CAT paper in the last 3 years. So, I mean, we are assuming that same structure would go on next year as well. Each section was of 40 minutes, and once again, the scoring pattern has been the same. This has been the same for last many years. So, scoring pattern would again remain the same, almost the same this year as well. This is our take on this. Okay. Is it possible that CAT 2023 be a 3-hour paper? Yes, sir, quite possible, music core. Actually, it was reduced to 2 hours because of COVID. Till 2019, it used to be 3-hour paper. Since 2015, I suppose, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, it was a 3-hour paper. Then suddenly it was reduced to 2 hours in 2020 because of COVID restrictions. After that, in 21-22 also it was of 2 hours. Now who knows what is going to happen in 2023, though nowadays we have started seeing the spike in the number of cases in COVID once again, that might again take it back to 2 hours, or they might go back to 3 hours as well. So that completely depends upon the CAT authorities, how are they going to decide about it. Of course, I think in my personal opinion, I think that they would want it to be a 3 hour paper, because for a 2 hour paper, of course, they have to create two papers, sorry, three papers, right? And the problem is not of creating three papers. Of course, the number of questions is also less, so, or more or less it is the same thing. The point is, you have to maintain the same difficulty level for all three as well. Otherwise, normalization would also be there, right? And it becomes difficult to normalize things then. So, lesser is the number of slots, better it is for them, so that they can give a level playing field to all the students. So, this is my opinion about it. Okay. Hello, Jetalal Champaklal. I'm good. How are you? Let's move on then. Let's start talking about it. The CAT score versus percentile. At what score? What kind of percentile you could have expected in these last years? CAT 2022 was a 198 marks paper. CAT 2021 was also a 198 marks paper. CAT 2020 was a 228 marks paper. These three papers, they were all of 2 hours. And before that, it was a 3 hour paper. At what score, what percentile are you getting? If you just focus upon the last 3 years, of course, यहाँ पे number of marks भी थोड़ा different हो जाते हैं. If you just focus on the last 2 years, it was 198 marks paper. Of course, CAT 2022 was slightly on the difficult side. You can see it. A 99.5 percentile was there at a score of 93 vis-a-vis 107 in 2021. A 99 percentile was there at 82.5 vis-a-vis 97 in 2021. So you see a good difference of approximately 15 marks is there. That is 5 questions in 2022 with respect to 2021 to get a 99 percentile, right? And even if you talk about a decent percentile like 95 percentile, that was at a score of 60. 60 is just like, you can say, approximately 30% of the total, right? Whereas the year before that, it was somewhere around, you can say, 33% of the total. So that ways you can say it has been the structure, the score versus percentile in the last many years. I would say once again that focus upon 2022 and 2021 only. Okay. Whatever questions you have, please keep on putting up your questions. If you want to ask anything, you can always put that over here. पूछेगा जरूर, ठीक है? Good afternoon, Akku Patil. Sir, but 3 hour paper is better than 2 hours. Music core people have different opinions about it. Some people would find 2 hour better because they feel that probably sitting for 3 hours is difficult, right? बहुत लोग बैठ ही नहीं पाते हैं 3 hours तक तो. So that ways उनको ये ज्यादा अच्छा लगेगा, किसी को 2 hour वाला ज्यादा अच्छा लगेगा. ये डिपेंड करता है from person to person, उनको क्या बेहतर लग रहा है. Okay? चलिए जी, I'll move ahead. Now, when I talk about arithmetic, because we our today's session is all about arithmetic itself. So, when I talk about arithmetic, how has been the number of questions on arithmetic in the last few years? So, last year there were 22 questions in the section. 8 to 9 questions were there from arithmetic. That makes it the most important area in quantitative ability. And it has not happened in arithmetic only, sorry, in CAT only. Let me tell you, whether you talk about ZAT or IFT or SNAP or NMAT or TISNET or CMAT or any other exam, which is MBA exam, you would see arithmetic has the highest weightage in almost all the exams. So that makes it not the most important area for CAT QA, rather for the QA section of each and every exam, because you will always find arithmetic have the highest weightage. The year before that, again, out of 22, 7 to 10 questions were there from arithmetic. The year before that, out of 26 questions, we had 10 questions from arithmetic. Year before that, it was 14. Actually, if you look at the total number of questions from arithmetic in last few years, it will be somewhere around 40% of the QA section. So 40% of the QA section is occupied by arithmetic alone. The remaining 60% is algebra, geometry, number system, modern mathematics. They all are combined into that 60% only. That makes it the most important area. I repeat, not only from CAT's perspective, you talk about any management exams perspective, it has been the most important area. Rather, why should I call about management exams only? Even if you talk about other exams, like if you are preparing for SSC, Bank P or something, there also you would see it is the most important area always. I hope all of you got my point. If you got it, please tell me. Chat box में लिखते रहिए कुछ ना कुछ. Do press the like button as well ताकि मुझे लगे that you are listening to me, right? Whether you are watching a recorded video or a live video, please just tell me whatever you feel about. Okay. Now, what all areas are there in arithmetic? As I said, the weightage of last 3 years, it has been 40.48%, right? But if you even include the years before that, it might slightly increase from that. It might go up to 41, 42%. So these have been the most important areas in the last 3 years. You would see the most important area has been time, speed, and distance. Even years before that, it has been the most important area. The second most important areas in the last 3 years have been averages, though before that, we have seen a lot many questions on time and work as well. So these are the percentages of questions that are, I mean, divided according to the subtopics. Now, I mean, I would not say that straight away, just going by this only, you can say that a percentage has 3.33% weightage, so it is the least percentage area along with profit, loss, and discount. See, percentages, profit, loss, and discount, simple interest, compound interest. Actually, these three areas are almost the same. They all would be talking about percentages only. So we have just made three different areas. Otherwise, including these three, you would say they'll make 10%. And percentages is not only used here. Percentages is an area which is used even in data interpretation. It is used in the other areas as well. From that perspective, percentages becomes important for us, right? So in my opinion, of course, you have maximum number of questions directly from time, speed, and distance or time and work, but percentages is extremely important area for us. Similarly, algebra mein there are so many areas from which the questions have been asked, and again you would see maximum number of questions have been there from quadratic, sequence and series, and logarithm, right? And sorry, logarithm and linear equations. And when you talk about geometry, approximately 15% questions have been there from geometry, approximately 7% have been there from number theory, approximately modern mathematics have been around 5% of the total number of questions. This is all the data from 2020 to 2022, राइट? अगर उसके पिछले ईयर्स को ऐड करोगे तो शायद ये फिगर थोड़ा बहुत ऊपर नीचे हो जाए, ज्यादा नहीं. रादर इफ आई टॉक अबाउट द लास्ट 5-6 years, you would see arithmetic includes approximately 40% of the complete section, right? Which includes time and work, time, speed, distance, percentages, averages, etc. Algebra is 30% of the QA section, which includes equations, functions, inequalities, logarithms, etc. Now, here it is saying 14% is for geometry and 14% is from number system as well. Now, these figures might change a little bit. If you talk about the last 3 years, probably number system have decreased a bit, geometry might have increased a bit. But if I talk about last 6-7 years, more or less they have been almost the same. And 2% of the questions have been from permutation and combination, probability, that is modern maths, etc. These are the areas from which these questions have been, right? So of course, the important area for all of us, this thing that we are working for today, is this area which is arithmetic. And I see biggest portion of this pie chart is actually consumed by arithmetic alone, and that makes it the most important area, I repeat, not only for CAT but for the other exams perspective as well, right? Now, we will be talking about a score versus percentile, that how has it been in the last few years. This is important. Why is it important? Let me tell you about that. So last year the paper was of 66 marks, last to last 66, last to last to last, that was 78 marks. Out of 66, I just told you 40% of the questions roughly have been from arithmetic in all these years. What is 40% of 66? 40% of 66 is 26.4, which tells you if you just do arithmetic questions, you would land somewhere between 95 and 99 percentile in 2022 as well as 2021, or 78 ka 40% would be 31.2. Once again, you would lie somewhere between 95 and 99. I am not saying do arithmetic only, but I can surely say that if you just do arithmetic questions and all of them, you just do all of them in actual CAT QA section, your percentile might be somewhere around 97 to 98 percentile. That is arithmetic for you. This is how arithmetic is used for you, right? I hope you are getting my point. ये कितना फायदेमंद है आपके लिए ये टॉपिक when you are talking about it. Maharashtra MBA CT result date, no idea currently about this. Akku Patil. Hello, Shraddha Sharma. And do press the like button as well, guys. Only 3 people have liked this session, and I see the message on chat box as well that if you enjoy the session, please hit the like button. So do that. Okay. So, but this is what the I would say strength of arithmetic is in CAT QA section. I hope that you are getting my point that what I'm talking about here. Okay. So now let's do some questions, get an idea that what kind of questions CAT does ask you on arithmetic. Is it that difficult to do all the questions of arithmetic? Actually, in arithmetic, they have asked all kind of questions. Some of them are easy, some of them are difficult, some of them are moderate as well. But most of the questions have been on the easier side, especially for the people who have practiced well enough, right? तो ज्यादा मुश्किल क्वेश्चंस कैट आपसे नहीं पूछे, ये मत सोचिएगा आप कह तो रहे 40%, but who is able to do all the questions of arithmetic? You can do that. Just have an idea of these kind of questions. Here is the first question. All of you first try this, after that we'll be doing it together. So just have a look at this question. It's a question from CAT 2022 slot 3. CAT 2022 slot 3 का question है. Two cars travel from different locations at different speeds. After starting at the same time, they take 1.5 hours to meet each other if they travel towards each other, and 10.5 hours if they travel in the same direction. Speed of the slower car is 60 km per hour. Then what is the distance traveled by the slower car when it meets the other car while traveling towards each other? That is what the question is. Okay. I hope you would have tried it already. So let me just talk about this once. Let us say one car is here with a speed of S1, another car is here with a speed of S2. The distance between these two cars is, let us say, d kilometers. The question says they take 1.5 hours to meet each other if they travel towards each other. If they travel towards each other by a relative speed of S1 plus S2, they have to cover d. It takes 1.5 hours for them. So can I say that d upon S1 plus S2 is 1.5? I hope you are getting my point. This car is going towards that car is coming towards this car. So they have to cover a total d kilometers at a speed of S1 plus S2. So d divided by S1 plus S2 gives you the time as 1.5 hours. But he says there is another situation. They take 10.5 hours if they travel in the same direction. So if this car is traveling in this direction, this car is also traveling in this direction. In this case, once again to meet, they will again have to travel a distance of d because the distance between them is d. But the relative speed this time would be given by S1 minus S2 because they are running in the same direction. When two cars move towards each other, or you can call it opposite directions, the relative speed is sum of the speeds. If they are running in the same direction, the relative speed is the difference of their speeds. So d upon S1 minus S2 is equal to 10.5 hours. How difficult is the question according to this, right? If you just closely look at this part of it here, I can say S1 plus S2 and S1 minus S2, they are in a ratio of 10.5 divided by 1.5, right everyone? I've just eliminated D, divided this equation by this equation, which gave me S1 plus S2 upon S1 minus S2, this, and this is equal to 21 divided by 3 or 7 divided by 1. S1 plus S2 is to S1 minus S2 is 7 divided by 1. Question says the speed of the slower car is 60 km per hour. Now there is something very interesting that I am going to tell you here. Just pay attention. If the speed of the slower car is 60, what is the distance traveled by the slower car when it meets the other car while traveling towards each other? Let us say this is the slower car. What is the distance traveled by this car, right, while moving towards the other car when they meet? And in this case, they took 1.5 hours. If the speed is 60 kilometer per hour, they met in 1.5 hours. Can I say it would have covered only 90 kilometers? And the point is, this all thing that we have done, it was completely useless. It was not required. Actually, the question is just asking us, two cars move towards each other, they take 1.5 hours to meet. One of the cars has a speed of 60. What is the distance traveled by this car? 1.5 hours is the time, 60 is the speed. What is the distance traveled? 1.5 into 60, 90 kilometers. The right answer for this question was 90 kilometers only. That's option D. I hope you are able to understand my point here. Wasn't it a very easy question? Honestly speaking, अगर मैंने ध्यान से question को पढ़ लिया होता, I would have known that is actually such an easy question, because what he's asking us, it is irrelevant of the ratio of their speeds. It is irrelevant of the 10.5 hours which is given to us. The point is, we tend to solve the questions completely unless and until, I mean, we reach a certain conclusion. But actually, the question was not talking about it. He was not asking this. But yes, we do, right? We solve it sometimes that ways. Chale, that was question number one. I'm sure you have understood my point. Let's move on to question number two. Let me see what do you do in this question number two. पहले आप लोग पढ़िए, फिर हम लोग इसको मिलके करते हैं. So once again, I have a question from CAT 2022 slot 2. A question from last year only. Yes, Akko Patil, I just saw your answer. Probably you were answering for the previous question. And I request all of you to please press the like button as well. If you have liked the solution, please do press the like button too. So here is the second question. Let's start doing it. What does it say? The time taken by Anu, Tanu and Manu to complete a job alone are in the ratio of 5, 8, 10. They accept a job which they can finish in 4 days if they work all together for 8 hours a day. However, Anu and Tanu work together for the first 6 days, working 6 hours 40 minutes per day. Then the number of hours that Manu will work to complete the remaining work alone, right? He has to complete the remaining work alone. Now, first of all, we have the ratio of the time taken by them. So, can I say the ratio of efficiency is actually inverse of the ratio of time taken? So, it will be 1 by 5 is to 1 by 8 is to 1 by 10, or I can also say it is 8 is to 5 is to 4, right? The ratio of their efficiencies is 8 is to 5 is to 4. I can say so. That means if I can say, if Anu can make 8 units in an hour, Tanu can make 5 units in an hour, and Manu can make 4 units in an hour. These are the units made by them in every hour. If they make these many units every hour in 4 days, working 8 hours a day, they can complete the work. So what is the work? If they work together, 8 plus 5 plus 4, they are making 17 units every hour. And in 4 days, working 8 hours a day, 17 into 32, that is 544 units is the total number of units that they have to make. Total number of units that they have to make is 44 units. It is 17 into 4, that is 68. 68 into 8 is 544 units. But how did they work? First, Anu and Tanu work together. Now, when Anu and Tanu are working, they would be making 13 units, 8 plus 5. They worked for 6 days. And for 6 or 40 minutes per day, 6 or 40 minutes means 6 and 2 by 3 hours. Or 13 into 6 into 20 by 3. These are the number of units they have already made. 3 2s are 6. 13 2s are 26 into 2, 520. They have already made 520 units out of 540 units. So what are the remaining units? The remaining units are 24. And Manu can make 4 units in every hour. So he can make 24 units in 6 hours. That's your answer for this question. Question number 2. That's it. How much have we done in this question as well? If you just look at this question, we have not taken any variable. Without taking variables, we are able to do this question fast enough. That is there on your screen. I am sure that you like the solution as well of this question. And I'm sure you would understand that these questions are not that difficult to do, isn't it? And these are recent questions. This question from CAT 2022, the question before this was also from CAT 2022, and later on also whatever questions we'll be discussing, you will understand that these questions actually have not been very difficult. These are on the simple lines only. Okay. That's question number 2. I'm sure all of you have understood. I'll move ahead now to question number 3. Here it is on your screen now. Here is question number 3 for all of you. Try to answer this question as well. Once again, a question from CAT 2022 slot 2. Once again, a question from recent years. Let's read this. करते हैं. Mr. Pinto invests 1/5 of his capital at an interest rate of 6%, 1/3 at 10%, remaining at 1%, each being simple interest per annum. So one is 6%, one is 10%, one is 1%, 1/5, 1/3, and remaining. Then the minimum number of years required for the cumulative interest income from these investments, cumulative means together, right? To equal or exceed his initial capital is what? So how do I do these questions? I'll tell you, because I also appeared for CAT 2022 slot 2. How did I do at that time? I generally look at these figures very carefully. These would give me a lot of hint. 1/5, 1/3. So whatever the capital is, I have to do 1/5 and 1/3 of it. I'll assume the capital as a multiple of 5 and 3. Let us take 1500. Of course, I can take 15 as well. But when I take hundreds, I can easily calculate these percentages as well. So out of 1500, 1/5 is 300, on which you are getting 6% interest. 1/3 is 500, on which you are getting 10% interest. And the remaining is 700, on which you are getting 1% interest. So how much interest are we getting in a year? 6% of 300 is 18, plus 10% of 500 is 50, plus 1% of 700 is 7, and that makes it 75. So I am getting 75 rupees as an interest in 1 year. Question says I want the total interest to be equal or exceed the initial capital. Initial capital is 1500. In how many years it will become 1500? Of course, divide by 75, 20 years. That's your answer. Simple. In 20 years, your your total interest would become equal to, or it will exceed 1500 rupees. By that logic, my answer is 20 years for this question. So once again, you would see a very easy question, though it's a question on simple interest, compound interest. But as I said, if you look at questions of SI, CI, profit, loss and discount, percentages, all these questions are primarily based upon percentages only. They don't ask you many questions on, other specific areas. It looks like that we have created different kind of types, but actually they are asking you questions only on these. Okay? और कुछ आपसे नहीं पूछ रहा है. I am sure that all of you have liked the solution, right? And still have not pressed the like button. There are only 3 likes. That looks very low to me as well. If I request all of you, there are 9-10 people watching, please do press the like button. And for the people who are watching the recorded video as well, if you find the solutions useful enough, please do not be miser in pressing the like button here. Okay. Please do that. Let's move on to the next question now. That is question number 4 on your screen now. Now, this time we have a question from averages. Yes, Akku Patil, the right answer was 20 years for that. I'm sure all of you are reading the question. I want you to read it once before I start discussing it. Chaliye, I'm sure you have read it. Consider six distinct natural numbers such that average of the two smallest numbers is 14. Average of the largest numbers is 28. What is the maximum possible value of the average of these six numbers? Again, CAT 22 slot 3. Let's start discussing it. Let us say the six numbers in increasing order are these. So this is the smallest number and this is the largest number. So these are the numbers in increasing order, smallest to largest. The smallest two, he says, their average is 14, so they add up to 28. The largest two, their average is 28, so they add up to 56. And I have to find out the maximum possible value of the average of all six numbers. The sum of smallest two is fixed. Sum of largest two is fixed. If I want to maximize the total, of course, I want to maximize these two. And there's no limit on them. But these numbers must be smaller than these two numbers and larger than these two numbers. Now 56. If sum of two numbers is 56, what can they be? They can be 28 and 28, they can be 27 and 29, they can be 26 and 30, they can be 25, 25 and 31. But you will see one thing, smaller this number is, smaller would be the number below that. So I want these numbers to be maximized, so I would try to take them as 28, 28. But they are distinct, so I can't take 28, 28. So the largest possible value of this number is 27 and these two numbers are smaller than 26, 27. So they can be taken 26 and 25. Of course, they would automatically be greater than these two. I can take 13, 15. I can take 12 or 16, 11, 17. Doesn't make a difference. Ultimately, sum of all the numbers is what? Now we have 28 plus 51 plus 84, plus 56 as the sum of all the numbers, which is equal to 8 plus 1, 9 plus 6, 15 and 13, 135. So the average of all these numbers is 22.5. So the right answer for me is 22.5 for this question, which is given in option D. That's correct. Option D is the right answer for this question. I hope you understood the solution. And I'm sure that you are seeing one thing. In none of the questions we have to take any variable. Even without taking variables, it is very easy. In the first question, though I wrote S1, S2, D, but they were not needed if you remember. The straightaway answer was 1.5 into 60, which was given in the question. We did not require those. So most of the questions on arithmetic actually can be answered without taking variables. That is the beauty of arithmetic. And therefore, I feel that if you just do them logically, you can actually answer these questions fast enough. Okay. So that was the next question. I still see the number of likes is pretty less. I hope you would improve that in the coming time. I'll move on to the next question. Question number 5 on your screen is here now. So once again, we have a question from CAT 2022, slot 1. It's a question from ratios. Read it once so that after that we can do it fast enough. Let us start doing it now. In a village, the ratio of male to female is 5:4. The ratio of the number of literate males to literate females is 2:3. The ratio of the number of illiterate males to illiterate females is 4:3. And of course, we know literate males plus illiterate males is equal to the total males. Literate females plus illiterate females is equal to the total females. If 3600 males in the village are literate, oh, so of this ratio for the figure 2, it is saying it is 3600. What is the total number of females in the village? Let's start talking about it. So what does the question say? Males, females. They are in a ratio of 5:4. The literate males, the illiterate males, the literate females, illiterate females. This figure is already given as 3600. So if literate males are equal to 3600 and their ratio with literate females is 2:3. So if 2 is 3600, can I say 3 is 5400? So literate females are 5400, right? I am sure that this is clear. Illiterate males to females are 4:3. Let us say this is 4x. So this is 3x. And male and females are in a ratio of 5:4. So can I say number of males is 3600 plus 4x. Number of females is 5400 plus 3x. And they are in a ratio of 5:4. That's it. Our job is done. Cross multiply kar do. We get 14,400 plus 16x is equal to 5400 into 5. ये आ जाएगा 27,000 plus 15x. So from here I get x is equal to 12,600. X is equal to 12,600. Question is saying what is the number of females? अगर मैं यहाँ put कर दूं 12,600. 12,600 multiplied by 3 is 37,800. 37,800 plus 5,400 is the number of females. If you add them, this gives you 43200. So the number of females is equal to 43,200, and that is the right answer for this question. I'm sure ये भी आपको समझ आ गया होगा. There is no doubt about it. एक बार मुझे देख के बताइए. Is it clear? Completely okay? If 2:3 is the ratio, first number is 3600, second is 5400. Literate males to females are 4x and 3x. 3600 plus 4x to 5400 plus 3x. They are in a ratio of 5:4. By cross multiplying, I got 14,400 plus 16x is 27,000 plus 15x. Subtract कर दिया हमने इधर लाके उधर लाके x की वैल्यू 12,600 आई. Multiplied by 3, 37800 plus 5,400. That gives me the total number of females as 43200. Okay. I'm sure understood now, Akash Agrawal. Ab samajh aa gaya hoga. So that was question number 5 for us. And I'll do just one more question for today. That is question number 6. Purpose is to get an idea about what kind of questions do they ask. These 5 questions were still on the easier side. This is one question which was again from CAT 2022. But I found it slightly on the difficult side. But before that, please read it once. एक बार पढ़ लीजिए. After that, we shall start doing it together. I'm sure all of you have read it, so let's do it together now. Okay, so I'm putting it on the next page. Amal buys 110 kg of syrup. So he has bought 110 kg of syrup and 120 kg of juice. 120 kg of juice. Syrup being 20% less costly than juice. So when I talk about their cost price, syrup is 20% less costly than juice. So if the price of the juice is 5x, price of the syrup is 4x. 20% लेस लेना था, therefore I took 5x, क्योंकि 5 में 20% can be easily reduced. Okay, so I can say the total cost price is 110 into 4x, that is 440x plus 600x, it is equal to 1040x. 110 into 4x is 440x, 120 into 5x is 600x. The total cost is 1040x. When I talk about the selling price, how is the selling price now? He says he sells 10 kg of syrup at 10% profit. So 10 kg is sold at 10% profit, means 4.4x rupees. and 20 kg of juice at 20% profit. So 20 kg of juice is sold at 20% profit. That means at 6x. 20% profit from 5x is 6x. 10% profit from 4x is 4.4x. This is the selling price from 10 and 20 kg. Amal sells the mixture at 308.32 per kg. अब total mixture is 10 plus 120. 110 plus 1 230 था. 230 में से 30 has been used. 30 has been sold. The remaining 200 kg is sold at a price of 308.32. Right? This is the price of remaining 200 kg. And he makes a profit of 64%. Profit on what? That is the cost. इस cost पे profit कमा रहा है. Then what is the cost price of 1 kg of syrup? That means we have to find out the value of x. That will give us the answer. So now cost price is 1040x. We need a profit of 64% on this. That is 1.64 times of this should be my selling price. What is my selling price? 10 kg into 4.4x, 20 kg into 6x, plus 200 kg into 308.32. Therefore, I said it was a slightly difficult question because actually the calculations are a bit lengthy. यहाँ पे मुझे मिलता है 164x plus 200 into 308.32. So if I calculate the value, it says 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6, 2 8s are 16, and 2 3s are. It is 61664. I'm sorry. Oh God, this whole is gone. Do we remember it? Somehow I pressed the button of eraser. Let me write it again. It was 1040x into 1.64 is equal to 164x plus 2 into ये पूरा आ रहा था. हाँ जी. So 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6, 16 and 6. Yes. चलो पहुंच गए वापस. Now 104x into 1.64 and this is also 164. तो कुछ तो relation होगा. Let us take this 164 on this side. I can take out 164x common. Inside I would have 10.4 minus 1. It is 61664. Right? 10.4 minus 1 is 9.4. So ultimately the equation is, मुझे x चाहिए ना, x is equal to 61664 divided by 164 into 9.4. अब इसको सॉल्व करने का काम थोड़ा सा मुश्किल था. All else was okay. 4 से कैंसिल आउट कर देता हूं. 4 4 जा 16, 4 1 जा 4. यहाँ पे आएगा 4 1 जा 4, 4 5 जा 20, 4 4 जा 16 and 16 जा 64. ये पक्का ही 47 से 41 से कैंसिल आउट हो रहा होगा. सो 41 3s are 123. देन वी आर लेफ्ट विद 31. 311 आएगा तो 41 7s are 287. तो 311 में से कितना बचेगा ये हमारे पास 24, 246 and 41 6 are. So it is 376 by 9.4. 376 by 9.4 और 3160 by 94. तो 94 से भी पक्का कैंसिल आउट हो रहा होगा. आई थिंक ये 40 पे तो नहीं जा रहा है. यस, एग्जैक्टली 40 पे जा रहा है. दैट मींस द वैल्यू ऑफ x इज इक्वल टू 40. एंड इफ द वैल्यू ऑफ x इज 40 देन व्हाट इज द प्राइस ऑफ सिरप? सिरप का प्राइस हमने 4x माना हुआ था. सो इट इज 4 into 40. 160 rupees is the right answer for. As I said, कि question difficult है, but actually I said difficult because of these calculations which were involved in this question. Otherwise, it was not that difficult. But yes, overall, if you look at arithmetic, arithmetic is just an easy topic. Even this question I would rate very easy. CP into the profit is equal to the selling price. After that, the calculations were difficult and there's nothing to be asked again. उसमें आप ये मुझसे पूछोगे ही नहीं, सर ये दोबारा बता दो या वो दोबारा बता दो, because once the equation is clear, after that you can solve the equation by yourself as well. Okay, that was the last question of the day. I'm sure that my message reached you what I wanted to tell you. Now these are our online classroom program heroes. These are the percentiles of our online classroom program students, and many more are there who are not there. Probably any one of you can be here next year. We would have more pictures. We'll try to put more. Currently we decided to put only 5 so that it is easily visible, but कोशिश करेंगे अगले साल और ज्यादा लगाने की if you are there. For that, of course, you can join our comprehensive program for CAT 2023. We provide all the things written on this screen in that program. 300 plus videos, 135 plus live sessions, practice questions, and then GDPI WAT preparation is also included in that. That's why we call it a comprehensive program. New batch will keep on forming almost every week. And for that, of course, you have a scholarship test as well on 15th of April at 7 p.m. on the BYJU'S exam prep app. So you can get up to 90% scholarship by appearing for this scholarship test. There is also a session that we have on the app again on 8th of April at 7 p.m., which will be taken by Srinivas, and he'll be talking about the roadmap to 99 percentile in CAT 23. How can you reach there, right? So he's an I am Indore alumnus, so just register for the session and join him on 8th of April on BYJU'S exam prep app. You can also appear for our daily section-wise quizzes. We have started giving this on the app again. So download it now. It is going to be very useful for you. From April 6, we are also starting a series of 500 most expected CAT questions. These series have been very popular among the students because many of them have got a lot of benefit from these series. We take up the questions which are almost the same kind of questions that appear in CAT in this complete series. We are also available on all these media handles. You can find us there as well. And that's all from my side for today. Thank you very much, guys. I'm sure that you liked this session. Please do press the like button if you liked it. We'll meet again in the next session with some next topic. Till then, bye bye and take care, all of you. Have a good day.